I was the Kung Fu kid. Despite also doing karate in my childhood, it was the Kung Fu that really stuck to my identity. Fast forward to middle school. I had been training Kung Fu on and off for more than 6 years. 6 years, 4 different Kung Fu schools, 2 different countries. Everyone in public school thought I was some unbeatable dude who could jump off walls. It didn't help that some teachers even spread that myth. One teacher, a drama teacher, told her students I once backflipped off the wall and landed in a drop stance. Another teacher, a history teacher, said I could jump 5 feet high. One fateful day, a clash happened. This classmate's name was Costa. He was an Eastern European guy named after the patron Saint Constantine of the Eastern Orthodox Church. He and I shared algebra together, and we disliked each other from the beginning. Costa was the type who in my mind was too serious about everything. He never had any positive emotion, and he had this energy that in Aikido would be called spear energy. Costa was also unbelievably bad at math. Math being valued highly in my community, I really judged Costa harshly for all the quote-unquote dumb questions he would always ask. Costa disliked me for the exact reason that people still sometimes dislike me on YouTube. I just have so much energy and enjoy getting super goofy when I want. So this tension between Costa and I boiled down one fateful day near the end of the semester. It was a fun day in math class, and I was being goofy like always. We were reviewing for an upcoming test. At one point, I did a class clown thing, and I got up and I yelled at the class next door. It made everyone in the class laugh, including the teacher, and I did that maybe once or twice. Last time I did that, as I was walking back to my seat, Costa, being ever so serious, stuck his foot out and tried to trip me for being the class clown. Now, I was going to let that go, especially because me and him had tension this whole entire semester. In my mind, if you want to hurt me, you want to come at me, you come at me directly. Don't sneak something behind the teacher. So while the teacher was distracted, I decided it was time to escalate this tension. I turned to Costa and I said, "Costa, you're up." Not going to say that word because YouTube doesn't like that word. Costa replies, "Say that to my face, Jerry." So Jerry, the Kung Fu kid, bravely walks up to Costa, gets right on his face, and says, "Costa, you're up." This was the point of no return. Before I could even get ready to fight him, I felt a hard punch to my ribs. I had never been hit like that in my left side before, and it wasn't until many years later that I realized this was a textbook right hook to the body. It was so quick, and it had such a snap to it. Since I didn't know anything about boxing, and I saw boxers as just bruisers with brain damage, I didn't have any warning bells go off in my head. I responded immediately with 3 punches. A right combo, swinging from my hips too, because that's how I practiced it in Kung Fu. That combo was the combo I trained the most, so it would naturally be my muscle memory when attacked. But having not trained it on live opponents much, my accuracy was a joke. None of the punches landed in vital areas because I was throwing them wildly. One punch hit Costa in the deltoids, one hit him in the back, and one hit him in the lats. Remember, he was still sitting down at this point, right? So the fact that I missed his face completely said something about my intent to do damage and my accuracy. But my speed was still very impressive, the speed that I launched those 3 punches. Costa decided it was probably not a good idea to keep escalating this. "Dude, calm down," he said to me. I was not going to calm down. This guy just tried to trip me, and now he wanted me to stop. So I threw another punch that landed on his shoulder again. This punch I threw much harder, and it got him to stand up. Now he wanted to fight. I could feel my adrenaline pumping. He and I were finally going to have this clash that was building up for a year. So Costa puts his hand in a standard boxing guard with his shoulders angled off. I put my hands up too, not because I saw any use in that, but strictly to make fun of him. "Oh, look at you doing your boxing thing." And I did this while squared off to him. He walks my way with his head bobbing a little to get it off center line. Another warning sign I didn't pick up. What kind of bullshito is he gonna do? I thought in my mind. Before I could even finish that thought, I felt another punch to my body that I had never felt before. Costa, seeing that my hands were up, lead jabbed to my body with his left hand. What saved my face from being jabbed was the fact that my hands were there to make fun of him. That jab to the body was so quick, I didn't even see it. By the time I felt it, he was already retracting his jab back to his face and shifting his level back up. And then the weirdest thing happened. He went back to his seat and sat down. I couldn't figure out why. Was it because the teacher on the other end of the class was getting suspicious that Costa and I were fighting? Was Costa just not ready to keep fighting the Kung Fu kid? Whatever the case, in my mind, I was ready for another round. I was known for my kicks, and I didn't throw one kick during this exchange. I reasoned that if I could kick Costa in the face, he and I would be evenly matched. So after I got back to my seat, I turned to look at him with escalating eyes. I shook my head. I taunted him with a smile that said, "You just wait until after class." I was already planning the type of kicks I would do to him. I could tell in his look back at me that he was scared. "You just wait," I kept thinking as I kept giving him this crazy stare. So the bell rings, and he runs out of the classroom. I pack my stuff quickly, and I run after him, trying to get a jump kick on him, much like he sneakily tried to trip me. But the moment I got out of the classroom, he was nowhere to be seen. I ran around the hallways, asking people, "Hey, where did Costa go? Where did Costa go?" I was ready to throw down with Costa, but no one told me where Costa went, and I kept searching till I had to go to my next class. So this fight never had its round 2. For many years, I believed that I would have won the fight if it had kept going. My unique blend of goofy craziness and my kicks would have won the day. When I first reflected on this with my buddy Rob back in 2018 on this channel, I got some very great comments from viewers that made me reflect some more. Very likely, knowing that Costa was trained in boxing, he was actually showing mercy on me. He hit to my body twice. He ran away, not because he was afraid I would beat him, but because he was afraid he would beat me. Think about this. If he really dialed it up, I probably would have been in the hospital, and he would have been the one expelled. After all, he started this whole thing by trying to trip me. He was much bigger, I was the straight A student, and he would have done way more damage to me. So from all accounts, it was a lose-lose for him to keep fighting me. Either gotten beat up by the Kung Fu Kid and be made fun of, or he would have destroyed the Kung Fu Kid and been equally unpopular, if not expelled. It's honest comments like this from viewers that help me grow. I reflected on this story twice since 2018 when I first told it. Once with Patrick from Effective Martial Arts and once with Rokas from Martial Arts Journey. I wanted to do a definitive video here just to put the story to rest. When people ask me what was the turning point in my martial arts training, I really wished that it was this moment with Costa in 7th grade, but it wasn't. I kept thinking that boxing was just for dumb Americans. I kept thinking that crazy kicks would win the day. I didn't reflect on my training or my abilities. Honestly, I was definitely a classic example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. I finally started committing to my training and striking in 2020, and that made me have even more appreciation for all those who glove up and get hit. The goal of Fight Commentary Breakdowns was always to stay humble in martial arts, and this video is another commitment to it. Costa, if you ever see this video, I want to apologize to you too. I know the reason you disliked me was not just because of my energy. I, admittedly, definitely made fun of you a few times for not being as good at math as I was. In most types of conflict situations, both sides were at fault to a certain degree. So this is me admitting that I probably escalated throughout the semester too. To everyone watching, keep on training, keep on finding that balance between pressure testing and safety. Make sure what you're learning can actually apply in real situations, but there are safer ways and less safer ways to achieve that same conclusion. Thank you guys for joining me in this reflection. If you like this type of reflection, please let me know, and also press the bell button to get all my videos and your recommendations. The YouTube algorithm has been so bad for my channel. I've been taking on commercial gigs and other projects to pay the bills. That being said, I'm committed to making this channel better with the income I earn. Talk to you guys soon. I look forward to talking to you guys in the comments for the first hour or so after this release.